187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
こんばんは、ちゃいみです。今日も L.A. ノワール続きやっていきます。なんだって裸の街、ミラーダアベニュー5810番地にある死んだ女性のアパートに向かった。盗難された軍用モルヒネと関連している疑いなので、風紀犯罪課のお出ました。死因があまりにも怪しくて、カラザースが過剰摂取や自殺を否定しているそうだ。彼の判断を信用し、俺たちの到着まで殺人家を引き止めてくれることを祈る。モルヒネ中毒で死んだ人がいると。科学の先生って何？
Your interest in my appearance is starting to get me worried.
Like it or not, we're a dysfunctional couple now. People judge me with you on my arm the same way they would a fat broad with a 5 o'clock shadow.
I really hope you're joking.
You're the first in this family born without a tail.
What?
He's only a writer. He can't really help me.
あ、違う、車はこっちじゃないや。
You can drive.
Seem distracted. We recovered the morphine. Some of it might be unaccounted for, so what? That's life. We did our job.
Closing one case opens another.
Do you have any idea what is really going on while we're wasting our time following this stuff?
Are you going to tell me?
The deals being done right now will change the face of L.A. forever, and we're wasting our time on some hump.
Someone's little girl.
Visit the morgue at the end of the month when the John and Jane Does are cremated. Their percentages. The odds for and against lightning striking.
Second floor. Apartment 6.
2階
In the back.
はい。
Thanks.
何？ああ、モルヒネの注射針。
Mal will be
注射針
pleased.
シレット。
Well, that's hardly conclusive, given the number of those things we've come across recently.
The autopsy will confirm it one way or another.
でもこんなとこに捨てる普通。バレバレじゃん。空いてるとこかな。あ、
Bukowski, you made homicide.
ああ、昇格したんだ。
You two want a hug? Or can we get
あ、
on?
こいつと組んでんだ。
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
はい。
We heard Carruthers thinks.
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls
変わっ
asleep in
て
the
ないな。
tub. Rest in peace. Case closed.
Here, here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead.
勝手にこっち来たけど、こっちから行けってこと。あ、これか、被害者。
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
Maybe I took a look.
Be my guest.
なるほど。
Take a closer look at her head and neck.
じゃあ溺死に見せかけたってこと？首になんかあざみたいになるけど。
Her neck is bruised pretty badly.
あ、じゃあ首絞められて殺された後に湯船に入れられたってこと？なんか
Bruising on the forearms
ああ、
and
噛ま
these
れた後何あれ？
like bite marks.
Very good.
どういうこと？あ、指輪。
Very unusual ring.
Could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire. The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
And spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
And morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
さっきモルヒネあったけど、まあこの部屋ではないけどね。
Circumstantial.
関係ないのか。睡眠薬かこれ。あ、ちょっと待って。あれ、それは見れないの？
I think I've seen it all. Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
そんなに高いの？男性用でしょこれ。どういうこと？
Looks like barbiturates.
睡眠薬。こんなに散らばってんのおかしいよね、でもね。あ、
Barbiturates.
まただ。
What else is rattling around in this thing?
中でカラカラ言ってる。あ、調べてくんないの？ジュリア・ランドール殿。ベンゼドリン20錠。ストーンマン博士。
We should speak to her doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
ベンゼドリンっていうのは、まあ、いわゆる覚醒剤のことですね。アンフェタミンとかのことで、まあ、アメリカでは昔、ベンゼドリンを飲むことで、まあ、気分が良くなったり、やる気が出たりするから、まあ、それを薬として作ったのがベンゼドリンらしいです。ただまあ、覚醒剤だからもちろん中毒性があるからってことで、多分もう分かってからはもう薬としては禁止されたんだと思うんだけど。
This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look.
そんなにお金持ちだったの？なんもない。でも開けれるってことはこの3つの中のどれかはきっとなんか書いてるね。
Been a modeling
モ
assignment.
デル。らしいね。らしいね。火曜の11時から4時まで働いている。遊びに来ない。 ミス・ランドールを呼び出して、
It's a place to start.
脱脂の洋裁店ってとこで働いてたってこと？でもそんな洋服屋さんで働いててこんなにお金持ってるものなのか。
Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog.
っていうかこんな時代に通販なんてあったの？はい。
I'm Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe? Who else is there? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
家政婦なんだね。
No more than normal.
いやでもあんなに大量にさ睡眠薬あるっておかしくない？何にもなかったらねえ普通にあれ飲むものじゃないよね普通の人は。
What are you hiding here, Mrs. Reynoldson? Julia was obviously disturbed about something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
まあこれは多分知らないような気はするけどね隠してたから。
She was taking barbiturates. She couldn't sleep. You must have seen them in her room.
You've seen the pillbox, the things she hid in there. I don't know how she supported herself. Always new clothes and jewelry. She lived like a movie star. A princess. Does modeling really pay that well?
Did Miss Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
Hmm. いやでもさこれがねこの部屋に残されてるってことはしょっちゅう来てるってことなんでしょ？
Why are you lying to me, Mrs. Reynoldson? Julia had men stay here.
I will not speak ill of the dead. You can't prove that.
You're off the hook. For now.
何何？
Who owns the smoking jacket?
I wouldn't like to tell tales, you understand. That's Mr. Henderson's. An older man, very distinguished
ヘ
looking.
ンダーソン。
He seemed very much in love with her.
Where would we find him?
I'm sorry. I don't know. He said he lives in San Francisco.
What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
急に挙動不審になったけど。
Mrs. Reynoldson, it seems like there's something you want to tell me.
She was very high-strung. Lovely one moment and screaming at you the next. She wanted it all, and she wanted it damn quick. Of course, being so beautiful, it seemed like she was going to get it. Not the way it's turned out, though, is it?
Thanks, Mrs. Reynoldson. You've been very helpful. One of the other detectives will take your statement, and then you can go home.
I think our work is done here.
えーっとまあこの人が殺したってことは ないだろうね。ストーンマン。医者ね。ジュリア・ランドールは被害者で、ミスター・ヘンダーソンっていうのがまだわからないと。で、行くのは、診療所ね。はい。
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm with Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
これはもう見たね。じゃあ行きますか。
Can you drive to this one?
Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted since. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing up his lunch.
どれだこれなんだ505はい
Here, Stoneman, office 505.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Your investigation is much more important than my sciatica. I'm just in pain.
患者かすいませんね
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
How well did you know Ms. Randall?
Very little. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
でもなんか処方箋みたいの、これが46年7月。どうなんだろう、わかんないけど、半年じゃない気がする。
Julia Randall has been your patient for nearly a year. I'm sure you know that.
Do you doubt my veracity, Detective? Do you have access to my patient records?
Your prescriptions contradict you, Doctor.
Miss Randall was in the fashion business, as you probably know. She was jumped up on Benzedrine by day and knocked down by sleeping pills at night. I told her to slow up, but no. Life was too short for her.
And you supplied the prescription for the Benzedrine.
It's not illegal, Detective. A lot of young women in her line of work use it for weight loss.
ね、違法じゃなかったんだ。すごいね。
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business.
そんな理由で飲んでたの？ちょっと待って。怪しいよね。
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, Doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
体重を減らすために覚醒剤飲むってどういうことだよ。
This doesn't pertain to the case. Maybe if... No.
特にこの中には何もないのかな。話聞くだけかな。
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that.
関係ない。これも関係ないかな。
Not sure this means much.
はい。特に何もないということで、もう完全に無視されてる。めっちゃ見られてんだけど。次か？はいはい。洋服屋さんに行くのね。
The old boy is lying.
About what?
I don't know. He looked relieved when you said she was dead. That's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
You're behind the wheel.
Have you noticed how croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
出し犬用採点。洋服を仕立ててくれるとこなのかな。
Well, hello. What can I help you with today?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go.
やめてもら
Is
っ
she in
た。
some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
まあそうなんだ。
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses.
そんなに？
Their wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look? That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you.
そんな高価なものなんだ。
How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
そうなんだね。
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
知らないっぽいね。
She was wearing a sapphire engagement ring. Someone must have given it to her.
She never mentioned a man named Henderson to me.
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
What? Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. She was so full of life.
で、警察署に、あれ？電話？
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Messages for me, please.
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
警察病院ね。
Where are we going?
何何
You know the way. You can drive.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.